Hello friends, this is lesson number 50 in the series of British literature in English. And today in this lesson we shall discuss Michael Drayton, the poet of the Elizabethan Age. He was born in the year 1563 and died 1631. And he was the first person to write odes in English in the manner of Horace. So who is Horace? Horace is a famous writer from the ancient time, from the Roman history. You might have heard this term Horatian ode. So the odes written by Horace are called as Horatian odes. So Michael Drayton worked on this style of writing and he wrote the odes in the same way as Horace used to do. And the famous work by Horace we have Ars Poetica. On this YouTube channel there is a playlist, and in the playlist of criticism and literary theory there is a separate lesson for Horace. You can watch the lesson there. Now about Michael Drayton. So his famous work we have, the first is Harmony of the Church, and this work was published in the year 1590, and this work is based on the Songs of Solomon. In the Christian history we have the King Solomon. He was a great devotee of the God Jesus Christ, and the Songs of Solomon are also there in Bible. Now during that time writing or reading these religious things was not allowed for everyone. Now the copies he wrote, these were seized by the Archbishop of the Canterbury, and some of the editions were also destroyed by the public. And later he wrote a few of the things related to this work again. Then we have another work, that is Shepherd's Garland. Shepherd's Garland, and that was published in the year 1593. It is a collection of the 9 pastorals, and with his love sorrow songs under the poetic name Rowland. Rowland. So remember, the poetic name of Michael Drayton is Rowland. Later this work was expanded in 64 sonnets and again published in 1594 under the title Ideas Mirror. Ideas Mirror. So relate Shepherd's Garland and then published as Ideas Mirror. The next work we have, that is the Legend of the Piers Gaveston. Piers Gaveston. It is based on the first Earl of Cornwall, an English nobleman of Gascon origin. Gascon origin. Next, Matilda is an epic poem in rhyme royal, and then Endymion and Phoebe. Endymion and Phoebe is another work. Though it never got republished, it contains some interesting autobiographical matters and acknowledgement of the help from Thomas Lodge. Remember this name, Thomas Lodge. He is also an English writer of the same Elizabethan age. Then we have Heroical Epistles. Heroical Epistles or Epistles, that was published in the year 1597. Epistles means that is related to the letters. So it is a series of the historical studies and imitation of the studies by Ovid. Do you know this name, Ovid? He comes from the ancient time in the 1st century. A Roman poet, and he is famous for his work, that is Metamorphoses. Metamorphoses. And this work, Heroical Epistles, talk about the letters exchanged between the famous lovers in English history. The next work we have The Owl, that was published in the year 1604. Actually, why he wrote this work? Because in 1603 we have the death of Queen Elizabeth, and after that we have James I, he became the King of England. Earlier he used to have favor from the Queen, but when James I became the king, he never got any such favor. To win favor from James I, he wrote some poems as a compliment to James I, but he ridiculed him, and that is why he felt very much dejected, and he expressed his bitterness through this poem. So when James I rejected him, his services, and then he expressed his bitterness through this poem. And he also recounts the time of happiness with the Queen Elizabeth. Then we have another poem called as Poem, Lyric and Pastoral. So this is a work, Poem, Lyric and Pastorals, published in the year 1605. It is also consists of odes, eclogues. Remember odes I already told you. Eclogues, which I have told you in the previous lessons, which is the shorter form of the poem, and a fantastic star called The Man in the Moon. The Man in the Moon. Then we have another work, that is Polyolbion. Polyolbion. And in this work he talks about the beauty of the countryside, the topographical beauty, and also about the Great Britain island. And then he discussed the things related to history, the legends, and also the present life, the rustic life, means the topic from the every corner of the society he is taking and praising England. This is one of the longest poem in English. And then we have one question in the UGC NET exam asked, and that is the author of the Elizabeth sonnet sequence Idea. Who is the author? So the sonnet sequence called as Idea, I mentioned that the Shepherd's Garland, that is also referred as Idea, because he published 64 sonnets in that work, and he later gave it a name Idea's Mirror, and he wrote this work with the name Raw Land. So that is all about Michael Drayton, and these are the few titles. If you could remember Harmony of the Church, Shepherd's Garland, that is also has the title of Idea, and later when the sonnets were expanded, then it was given the name as Idea's Mirror. Then we have Legends of the Piers, Gaveston, Matilda, Endymion and Phoebe, Heroical Epistles, The Owl, Poem, Lyric and Pastorals, Polyolbions. So that's it for this lesson. One thing you must be feeling, that these names are not so important, but nothing is important unless or until it is asked in the exam. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Thanks a lot and have a great day.